Hello ladies and gentlemen of StarCraft Nation, Zoe here from the Starcraftsquad bringing you Game 2 of EmpireKas versus mouzThorZaIN, spotting in the bottom right. As the green Terran is EmpireKas. And over here, as the red Terran is mouzThorZaIN. Now, these two players are, if you're going to learn to play Terran, I would suggest watching these two. These two don't really do cheesy tactics, they don't really do all-ins, they don't really do anything silly. Both of these players are probably the most two macro Terrans you can find. ThorZaIN, known as the Spoon Terran, and Kas, who's known for his very conservative play. These two are just, they are macro. So we have a little bit of a wall off going down here for EmpireKas. ThorZaIN, we have the little the depot being built by the gas. Both are valuable strategies. Don't know if Kas can wall off all the way though. Now, Tal'Darim Malzar is a pretty big map. I would be interested to see if we're going to be seeing some expansion first here from either player. Now, actually, we have a gas first going down for ThorZaIN and a gas first going down for EmpireKas. So both players are going for gas first, which either screams Blue Flame Hellion drops, Reaper Rush, or Banshee Rush. And I'm going to rule out Reaper Rush because I think I'm the only one besides QXC that does silly stuff like that anymore. And I'm going to go with, I want to say that they'll both go Banshees, but you never know anymore these days. Kas is very well known for his bio play. He's very good with Marine Tank and Marine Marauder. So Blue Flame Hellion, it's really probably not the best choice there for ThorZaIN. If he opens Marauders, that's not really going to be the best choice. But if he opens Marines, Blue Flame Hellion drops are still good against Marines, but I don't know. I think both players will be going Cloaked Banshees here. Now, Barracks is almost finished for both players. Now, we have to see which path they'll go from here. It just depends. We don't know if it's going to be one gas. We have the factory going down, of course, immediately for ThorZaIN. He's just a couple seconds ahead of Kas. I mean, Kas' Barracks is really far behind. The factory is immediately going down. No player has taken a second gas yet, though. Both players are just now starting to scout as well. But we just don't know where they're going with this. You can do Blue Flame Hellion off of one gas. You can do that. So I'm thinking that's what ThorZaIN's doing. I mean, he's building the tech lab on the barracks. So that just screams, okay, I'm going to transfer it over and get some quick blue flames and do some run-bys. Because when people do fast expands here, it's easy to run through the middle with some Hellions. Kas is also getting a tech lab. Will he be doing the same thing? Now, Blue Flame versus Blue Flame is always fun to see. It's just who has the better micro. And you could be microing the best out of the two players for 90% of the fight. But 10% of the fight, the 10% last couple seconds, you screw up, you can die. So we actually have Kas throwing down a starport here on this tech lab. And we are getting Blue Flame from ThorZaIN. So as I thought, Blue Flame Hellion from ThorZaIN. And we have Banshees here from Kas. Both players still on one gas. It looks like ThorZaIN's actually about to expand, saving up those minerals, pumping out them Hellions. Doesn't look like we're seeing a starport for ThorZaIN, which is pretty risky. You have to be very careful with a Hellion expand without starport. Banshees are really bad, and I really dislike this choice of putting this depot along the edges right here. It's good and bad. I mean, they're good at scouting drops. You want to do this late game, but this early, it can be very, very scary. Now we have a little bit of skirmish going on right here. Hellions shooting each other. ThorZaIN's got two now, though, so you can probably go clean up that one. But you have to be very careful, though. Banshees can easily supply block you by picking these things off. I mean, Marines aren't going to be able to shoot you while you're sniping this depot. This one's in a better position where you can actually run up here, but this close to the edge I don't really like. Hellion getting killed here by Kas, so both players are putting out a bunch of Hellions right now. Starport going down for ThorZaIN. He's also getting the reactor on the factory, or the barracks, excuse me. We did not get Cloak from Kas. Now Kas is just going with straight up Banshee expand. Does he actually have a command center yet? Yes. No, he doesn't. Kas does not have a CC. He's just now building it, so he's going to be a little bit behind ThorZaIN. So he's going to have to do some serious damage with this Banshee. And right now, if we go to the units tab, we only have one Marine here from ThorZaIN. So until this Viking comes out, which won't be out for another 22 seconds, Kaz has free reign over this entire base. Now hopefully he can do a serious amount of damage. Doesn't need to be shooting that depot. We have a couple seconds before this comes out. We have 10 seconds, so how many SCVs will this guy be able to kill here? The Hellions coming over, but not really important. Lots of SCVs coming down. Right now, Kaz just has to kill as many SCVs as possible. We're killing the one that was repairing. And 6 kills so far, 7 kills. Will it get an 8th? 8 kills on that Banshee before it goes down. I believe that definitely pays for itself. Income tabs 27-18. Kaz has a full 10 Harvesters on ThorZaIN. So in the 10 seconds that Viking wasn't out, Kaz did an insane amount of damage to ThorZaIN. And now, what he was behind on the command center, he just definitely evened it up, if not got a little bit ahead. Now we do have this little wall up here with these Hellions. We do have a barracks floating over here for ThorZaIN, going to be scouting with it, doing as much damage as possible. Now what kind of tech are we going here for Kaz? We do have 2 more factories going down, so I'm pretty sure he's going mech. Don't know for sure though. We do have Blue Flame almost finished for him. No siege tanks on the way yet. Starport's on the reactor, so we're going to be pumping out a lot of Vikings here. We got to get that air control, and I like ThorZaIN's choice here. He's actually putting the Starport on the tech lab that the factory was originally on, and getting a Raven. Very few people do this nowadays. The Raven is such a key point in TVT now, in any matchup, to be honest. Now Barracks getting scouted here. ThorZaIN's probably going to be losing this, so that's going to stop all factory building here. And right now, we don't really have much from ThorZaIN production facility-wise. We've got a factory and a starport. That's it. So when this thing goes down, he's going to have to rebuild another factory. It looks like he's going to try and land it right here and defend with Hellions. We do have these Hellions. Huge ball moving across the map here. Now, we need ThorZaIN to land this. If he can land it, he can repair it and doesn't have to rebuild it. Income tab, guys, 32-32. ThorZaIN patrolling the map with these Hellions, trying to find any form of poke he can make, but it doesn't really look like it. This guy does land, but it does go around. The barracks does fall. We do build another factory, but we're going to have to build another barracks to build anything else. We can't only produce off of 2 factories this entire game. So right now, just killing that barracks is a huge, huge kill for Kaz. It's going to delay so much from ThorZaIN. He's not going to be able to produce as much. Hellion poking up through here, trying to get a good scout of what's going on, but we have Vikings landed. Not really doing much damage there. We have the Vikings over here killing off that Marine. Income tab, guys, 35-37. So ThorZaIN is ahead on Harvesters, but on food he's down 10. And now his production facility is really going to be, slowed down. We do have Hellions being produced constantly here. Still, neither player is producing Siege Tank. And this is a really fun build, guys. If you've ever seen it, it's this extremely aggressive Hellion Viking play where you just land your Vikings and you use them as like what you'd call a Marauder type unit for the mech, at least early game. And it's really actually fun to do. Now we have a good push coming here from Kaz. And let's see who's lined up better. It looks like Kaz actually has a huge Hellion advantage over ThorZaIN, and he does a good amount of damage there. And even though ThorZaIN was lined up a little bit better, Kaz got a good force there and was just able to overpower his opponent. 40-44 as Harvesters. ThorZaIN's still in the lead, but we have this Raven, we have Vikings now. Income tabs 54-41 or 45-41. Factories are being built. We're producing siege tanks now for ThorZaIN. We're producing them as well for Kaz. And it's just turning into a standard mech versus mech here. Both players not really dropping or harassing. And it's just going to be a pretty standard. We have a lot of Vikings here for Kaz. He's got so many landed right now. He's going to be able to do so much damage. And it looks like we're just patrolling the area here. This Raven, I promise you guys, if ThorZaIN can catch up on the unit composition here, or the unit count, this Raven is going to turn the tide of the battle by far. Kaz, look at how many Vikings he has though. Unit tab, guys, we have 8-5 right now, which is a huge advantage. Even with the Raven, Kaz is still in the lead. Income tabs 47-50. And we have a pretty beastie push here coming from Kaz. 3 siege tanks. Good scan here by ThorZaIN, just checking to see what his opponent's up to. Sees how many Ravens, how many Hellions, how many tanks he has. And both players are getting ready to take a third. I mean, we've already cleared out the rocks on both spots. And then here comes the push. Hellions able to shoot up here on the low ground to kill off this depot. And we're getting a good siege tank position here. Now there goes the point differential. And this is what I was talking about, having a huge advantage here. And we almost have enough for another one and 10 more energy. So this is giving a huge advantage towards ThorZaIN. 5 more energy until he can do it again, but this base is under siege. We start losing SCVs here. Harvester count 51-51. But once we get enough for another point defense drone, we're going to be able to push this quite easily. Here comes the Viking flower. We do have another Raven here, picking off another Viking immediately. I disagree with this positioning of this this point defense show. He could have pushed that forward. He's forced to land. So now, guys, if we look at the unit tab, it is 5-9. ThorZaIN has a huge lead. He does not have air vision anymore, so he's able to just kill off all these siege tanks. They are forced to unsiege, and all of them go down before they get a single siege tank blast off. Great play there from ThorZaIN. Just eliminating the air, and I told you the Raven is such a key part in early game TBT. People need to use Ravens more often. That just completely turned the tide of the battle. Just that one unit. One unit changed everything. And it's not that difficult to get. You start off with a tech lab, you build a Raven, and you don't build another one ever again. You just keep this guy alive, and it does wonders for you. Pushing across the map here, it looks like ThorZaIN's getting ready to do his own little dance behind the mineral line of Kas. See, a lot more siege tanks, but we have a lot of siege tanks up here from Kas as well. It just depends on who's positioned better. Siege tanks going off. They're just a little bit out of range here. ThorZaIN able to hit the mineral line of Kas, though. Very scary situation to be in. And it looks like Kas is actually landing all of his Vikings and going to try and just overwhelm ThorZaIN on the ground, forcing ThorZaIN to land his as well. What will occur here, though? You're walking straight into a bunch of siege tanks here, Kas. What will happen? Does ThorZaIN see this? Is he going to land his own Vikings? How will he? He is landing his own Vikings. Here comes the engagement. Hellions blasting away. Siege tanks being sieged up for Kas, but he walked in a little too late. ThorZaIN getting a lot of more pot shots off here, and because Kas had to siege up his siege tank, he's taking a lot of losses here. ThorZaIN doing a brilliant push there, just completely annihilating the push from Kas. Food count is 80 to 119, and there's going to be a lot of pain here for Kas. He has to think of something. His middle line is being attacked at. His third is just now getting established. We have Hellions moving up over here. If there was a lot of SCVs over here that were transferred, they would be fried right now. It doesn't really matter at this point. Food count 72 to 123. Income tabs 41 to 60. Right now, ThorZaIN is in a commanding position to do a lot of damage. Hellion moving across the map, trying to get some damage off on these units. Kas able to defend the third, but at this point, it's just going to be such a hard position. The siege tank number, guys, units is 5-9 to ThorZaIN. We still have the Raven. We still have 9 Vikings. No air units here for Kas, and he's not producing any at all. He just lost a command center at his natural, so right now it's 2 base to 3 base, and ThorZaIN has a huge lead. It's going to be such an uphill battle for Kas to be able to turn this around and do some serious damage. He needs to get some Hellions into the main here to do some serious harassment. Kas GG Wells plays. He knows he can't really do anything else here. And we're going to, well, that's it. Best of 3 over. ThorZaIN 2-0'd EmpireKas. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Starcraftsquad. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.